Hey everyone, it's Jason here with a new update for FireJumpers Inferno. So I am happy to say that I have mapped out 11 states, and here it is. So it has taken me about 2 weeks, every evening, just kind of mapping out about 800 of these little pixels at a time. Now each pixel has 15,000 pixels inside. So, and they're each downloadable content. We've got like California here, and Oregon and Washington. I think there's like Idaho and Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. Down here is like New Mexico. We've got Arizona. We've got Nevada. Utah is, I think, over here somewhere. Did I miss anything? Uh, no, where's Utah? Anyways, so uh, so we got all this kind of mapped out here. This is the Grand Canyon right here, which is great. Uh, Over here we've got the Yellowstone National Park, um, and oh, I mean the detail, right? And again, every pixel downloadable. Um, you got and take a look. I mean, look at this mountain. I thought the other one over here. I mean, Mount Shasta. What over here in California? Yeah, right? Pretty awesome. This guy, wow, right? It's uh it's really cool just to watch, just to see this. As I was building this, it was just great to just see all of this kind of come together and slowly reveal the entire continent. And all the colors, there's about 40 colors just representing how the fuel will burn. This is all GIS data. Um, and so I've added a few extra things. So take a look right here. So I've got the new textures. So I got the normal, which is where you see all the textures. And then down here, I have moisture level. So you can have low, medium, I mean high, medium, low, and very low moisture level. So now this is something that I actually built back in FireJumpers Pro, but never connected it. So it was always default to a high moisture level. So if I click on rate of spread, it's going to show a kind of gradient color. This is kind of a wind speed of 30 kilometers an hour, so it's pretty fast. Um, Now the colors actually go between three different colors. So we go from red, which is the lowest rate of spread, to a yellow, which is where kind of the danger uh, level is, which is about 100 pixels per hour. Now, just for you wildland firefighters, 1 pixel, which is about 30 meters, is about 1.5 chains per hour. So, so that's how you can kind of measure it, but it's just easier with how this goes to use pixels. Probably translate it to chains per hour as an option in settings or something. All right, so then, but then there's another color. So if I were to change the fuel moisture level, there we go. Now we've got a new texture. Now we've got some blue. So what goes is that from 0 to 100 pixels per hour, it goes up to yellow, but then yellow from 100 to 400 changes it to blue. So this is just the beginning part of the blue. This shows, now if you take a look at the new info panel here, you'll see shrub SH5, that's a shrub number 5. Um, Rate of spread, 164 pixels per hour. So very, very fast, very dangerous. Um, but if we brought it down to low, then you can see the amount of blue. Now, the moment it's going into the blue, that is, very, very dangerous. It's over 100 at least pixels per hour. So, and then you can go down to very low. And let's say I brought this up to, 50 kilometer an hour winds. Not unheard of, right? Take a look. This take a look how blue that is. This is nearly 400, so it's nearly as blue as it gets. 333 pixels per hour rate of spread. Amazing. Flame length, 1.8 meters. If you take a look here at California, right? Uh, last summer, right? You've got a lot of fires happening here in Northern California. Um, Now, if I brought this back down, let's say to 20, let's see here. There we go. I'm going to work out on the calculations. I think I have a better way instead of it having to recalculate everything like this. But it is tricky because once you change the wind speed versus, the moisture level, it needs to kind of recalculate everything all the time. So that's rate of spread. Then there's flame length. Now, flame length is kind of like the key variable that I use to interact with the water unit. So the flame length goes through this kind of calculation that then spits out a fire intensity, right? So now as the flame length gets higher and higher, that fire intensity scales up very, very quickly. So it can go from, a few hundred kilowatts to, tens of thousands of kilowatts very quickly. So this flame length, then with the fire intensity, the water units spray water and they reduce that fire intensity, which then in turn reduces the flame length down to zero, and that's when the fire gets extinguished. Um, Now I'm pointing over here to California because it had a lot of issues last year. This is 2020 data, so it's all the latest. Now, if I brought down to midsummer, very low moisture, right? With only 20-kilometer-an-hour winds, you can see it's already turning green. So from yellow to blue, it turns to kind of a green, and then it turns to blue. So um, yeah, and I mean they had days where they had like gusts of wind of like 50 kilometers an hour or more. Um, and this is what it kind of shows. Now this is over the entire uh, part of the continent. Black is non-burnable areas, kind of like bare ground or agricultural land. However, with the agriculture, I'm going to probably add a toggle so that you could switch it from non-burnable to maybe it burns like grass, maybe it burns like bushes or trees. So you'll have that option. But yes, just amazing just to see all of the different colors based on moisture level, right? Which you could almost see maybe at different times of the season would be like this. And then back, yeah, right back to the California. One other thing, let me just load up part of the Grand Canyon. Let's load a little bit larger area here. So what I have changed also is the size of the units, just slightly. Now the kind of the little running guy, he's relatively the same size as before. The vehicles are slightly smaller, but they're still not to scale. They're still quite, much larger than what they actually represent. However, what I did do, let me just load some units in the field here. Okay. All right, so here we go. So we've got like, let's say the bulldozer, right? Um, when you're close, you can definitely see that he's a bulldozer. He's a little bit smaller, um, but it is the aircrafts, in fact, right? So the aircrafts are now to scale. Okay, so this unit here, or let's say even take the other guy, twin air. Okay, oh, let me just kind of look back. Right, so if each pixel here is 30 meters, this guy being about 60 meters is pretty accurate, right? So now when I am flying, it is a lot more kind of realistic in its um, uh, scale, I guess. Yeah. So uh, so here we go. The other thing too is that the I am not automatically snapping to first person because I felt that like as I was playing, it felt a bit hard to visualize every time, just snapping back and forth just because of the elevation change. I still have the zoom, so if I'm zooming up or if I'm high in the sky, the aircraft is a little bit further, but even if I'm very close to the ground, um, there's there's no jumping to first person. Yeah, so here, this unit and this airplane, it's all the scale. Oh, yeah, and I'm picking up some water. Sure, why not? Not that you really could do this in this area, but I think it's all about gameplay. Um, yeah, and off we go, flying back out. And if I take a look at this unit, and here he is here, and that is the scale, right? So now you can just imagine size. And off you go. All right, I think that kind of sums it up here. Let's go back again. Just great to see um, so much area just coming together to show, just countless areas to be able to play and download. So really excited to get this. So the next part really is to get the multiplayer actually working so people can join rooms, create rooms, separate your units from my units, maybe do little temporary tradesies like, hey, can you, control my aircraft while I'm doing this? Or I don't know, stuff like that. So that is what I'll be working on next, plus some of the additional graphics uh, for some of the units. Um, so yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. So thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.